Okay, this is Matty Crypto. Let me sit in my seat and take this away. What's happening, folks? It's Matty Crypto. I'm joined by one of the first people that I've ever met in crypto. This is Pumpkin. Pumpkin. First of all, I mean, we talked backstage in the green room, but I just want to say now that I'm really happy that you're here, man. This is going to be fun. We talked about doing a possible collaboration a few times, maybe 2 or 3 to start, and then do some live streams. But I just want to use this time to basically bring people up to speed of who you are, how we met each other, how far we go back, just a little bit about your story. But again, honestly, I take it for granted that, you know, you and I have been friends a long time, but I appreciate you coming on. This is something I've been looking forward to for the last few days.
Absolutely. I'm excited, man. I am stoked. I can't wait. I can't wait. And I love your intro. Can you just do a little short one?
Man, you know something that's funny about the intro? I thought about for the last like 6 months or a year, I try to taper it down and not be so obnoxious. And then I'd get DMs, people go, well, your intro is changing. You should bring the original one back. And it's so silly and obnoxious when new people find some of my videos for the very first time. It's so loud in the speakers because it's the first thing that you hear. Yeah, that's why I did a 30-second intro there, because the first thing you hear if you click on my YouTube video, if you're in your car, you got earphones on, or you're outside doing the grass, that's the very first thing you hear. Or if the speakers are up at your house, it sounds so ridiculous. But you're right. I need to just bring it back and be as silly, just be me, and not be the toned down version of the man with shaking. Just go straight out with it.
Just be Matty Crypto, man. Just
I am.
Be whoever the hell you want to be. This is the internet, man. We can be whatever we want. I could be a pumpkin. If I want to be a pumpkin, I could be that.
You know, speaking of origin stories,
sure,
we're going to get into, you know, you and I and our history and stuff in a little bit. But where did that come from? Do I even know that story, the pumpkin story?
Pumpkin? No. You know what? That's a man. Wait, okay? So that's a screen name, right? That was a screen name.
It was a Telegram before I first saw it.
Yeah, and back in 2017, and we were in a scam together, right?
Yep,
right?
A few of those.
Was that one of our first scams we were in? Not like we were the scammers, we were being scammed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's important. That's important to know.
Yeah, we were scammed on that one together. Matty and I, we both lost some money. Definitely got some battle scars from there. So I just picked a picture of a pumpkin eating a pumpkin because I just thought it was kind of funny. And I don't know. I just never changed it. And I just kept it, you know? I'm that kind of person. You know? I just never changed. Never. Yeah.
And I never saw your face. Never knew who you were. It was just an avatar of a pumpkin.
Yep.
And I don't know. I've always resonated with your personality because it's so unique and so funny and sarcastic. And it's somebody that I would be friends with if you were here locally to me. And you mentioned going back to, but it's true. And it's funny because I have brothers. I don't have any sisters, but I'm really close to my brothers and close to like just a few friends, like literally a handful of friends that I spend the majority of my time with. I don't have a lot of people that I really, you know, share time with. So it's rare that you find someone that you really actually want to spend time with and you can sit and talk and laugh. And one of the most important things about a friendship is to feel comfortable around someone. And I feel super comfortable around you. If you don't feel that way around me, that's totally fine. But I feel comfortable around you. And it's, you know, we just always clicked. Like you said, it's been what? So maybe 16 or 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. This is like 7 or 8 years we've been going on just doing silly stuff on.
When was the ICO time? It was during the ICO days.
It was early 17, maybe late 16. And I don't know. It's hard to looking back now. It's hard to put yourself in those situations because looking back, it's like, man, it's obvious. A lot of this stuff was just trash. But you didn't know what you didn't know. That was just what the space was back then, and you were hoping you'd get into legit projects and find people who were honest and trustworthy. But it was rough back then, man.
Here's the problem. This is the issue with the whole thing, and it's still the issue right now. Is people always say do your own research. Well, let me give you an example. I'm an electrician, right? I don't know tech stuff. I can't dig into that. I'm not going to be able to tell you all the details of that, how that works, and does this mechanism work? Is this blockchain correct? Does it have scams in it? I don't know that stuff. So my research is going to be basically listen to someone super smart, and I can go parse the logic and say either that sounds smart or that sounds really stupid, or that guy is just blowing smoke. And I got to use some of that, like, my personality is I've been able to read people really well. In fact, like that's something I pride myself in is I read a lot, and I read a lot of body language books. A little harder on the internet to read body language, but reading body language and knowing what someone's true intent is really important. And so that's the best research I could do. But back those days, man, I couldn't research anything. I had no idea. I was like, 200x? Yeah, I like that idea. Buy.
And most people were like that. It was the Wild West. It feels silly, like I said, looking back now, when you can surround yourself with like lots of people now, and you kind of weed people out, and the ICO stuff is not going on anymore. And there's still thousands of crypto projects and crypto out there. Once you've been in this years and years and years, you don't even look at the ones that would possibly be scams. You just you're laser focused on 5 or 10 cryptos, and you're kind of on board and married with them, and you don't even want to get into other stuff. It's tough to get me into a crypto project now. And what you just said about the do your own research, that is so true. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody actually say it like that. But it's true. Like if someone shows me something and said, do your own research, all I can do is just do a search, a cursory search, and look at the website and hope I maybe know somebody that introduced it to me. But what do I know about crypto? I mean, I'm Matty Crypto, but I don't know, I'm just a cheerleader. I like crypto. I enjoy this stuff. I like the people that are in this, the small little army that I have around me that I talk to every day. I love these guys. But if something new comes around and I just ask a few people or do some research, it's so limited. So if something does fail or scam or rug, it's hard to be an expert on so many things.
That's right. But you get to be an expert on people, right? That's what you do.
Yep. People. I try to. And that's why I try to keep my circle kind of small, because life happens, man. You got to do a lot of stuff in your regular day job or your family and stuff. So you don't have a lot of time to devote to a lot of people. That's why social media I like, is especially Twitter, because you can, have that little small knit family, and that's enough. If you go through just a few people and their backgrounds and their Twitter feeds and their social media, and you just get a bunch of people that you really trust and you like and you get along with, you can branch out slowly and add to your team. But I love keeping that community small. And that's why I like Twitter a lot. Thank God, not to get political, but I like the Elon Musk twist on Twitter. I'm a big proponent of free speech. I want all ideas to be heard, and people get stifled or shut off or, deplatformed. I just think it's not good for anything.
Yeah,
so I think
I'm just going to disagree with you on that one. I think everybody should just be locked away in a cage, and then we should just have no more internet. We should just go back to Nokias. Remember the little Nokias with the little,
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go back to that. Texting was like, hey, you had to press it 3 times and then 4 times and 1 time. You know what I mean? It took forever to write the. I mean, it was ridiculous.
I never used text back in the day. I waited to the iPhone for my first text, because I swear I said this. I said, this is so dumb. If I want to talk to someone, I'll just call them. So I didn't text for a few years. And then all of a sudden I'm like, dang, that was easy. You just got to use it when it's for. But, getting back to this, it's important to really put yourself in a position where you got people around you that you can trust, just a small amount of people, because it's tough to, you can get bombarded by hundreds of people and your feeds can get crazy and overwhelming, and it's hard to navigate this. And that's what we're going to talk about in hopefully future videos. And so the pumpkin thing was just a silly avatar that you had, but that's how I viewed you forever. I never saw your face for probably years, but you and I got along great. We talked about different projects, and we talked a whole lot on Telegram. And I know it's still a thing, but I don't think it's quite as crazy as it used to be back in 16 to 17. But there was a time when the Matty Crypto Telegram, I forgot the ranking sites you could check and see what Telegram was. Our Telegram group was a top 5 group of all Telegram as far as how active it was. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yep. It was. I think I got a screenshot of that one time.
Why? Because we were in there dropping Tron. Remember, we were doing the. We were dropping Tron, like, man, we were throwing some Tron down.
Does that ever happen when you go to Telegram? Does anybody ever like tip and airdrop and stuff anymore?
No, that stuff's long gone, bro. That's long gone.
That was one of my funnest experiences in crypto, because you mentioned like airdropping, and people unfamiliar with this. You can go in a Telegram group, and a bunch of us are in there, and you can randomly, buy just basically shit coins, honestly. But Tron was a great coin, probably still around. I haven't checked on it in years, but you could just, people would come into the chat room in the Matty Crypto Telegram room, and we were just friends. And I didn't see it as a Matty Crypto room. It was just a bunch of friends in there hanging out. It's where we went to hang out and talk just about life and crypto and shoot the shit back and forth. But you could just, a new person would come in, we would do games and trivia and just throw around hundreds, sometimes thousands and millions of these random coins to just random people. And the reason it kind of stopped was so many bots after a couple of years would just come in there and say hi. I would just fill it up, and thousands of them. And it was they just ruined the party for us. But for about 6 months or a year, that was the place to be, man. It was a lot of fun. I would spend hours a day in that chat room.
Yeah, that was good times. That really was. I actually think better times are to come, though. I think we've got a lot of stuff on the horizon right now that, it's going to be nice to get a fresh take on it, I think. Coming forward. Do you have any more questions about my past?
Yeah. So basically, starting like at the very start of your life, not like baby stuff, but I like to ask people, like, where were you when you were like 12, 15? You know, I don't want to know where you grew up because I really respect your privacy, but what kind of kid were you? Like, what did you do? What were your interests and the things that you kind of took up your time?
I think my time was mostly spent on tinkering with stuff. I was always putting things together or breaking things. I was taking TVs apart. By the way, don't take a TV apart that had a tube. That's a bad deal. It explodes. It's bad. But that was fun, right? Like, shoot it with a BB gun and see how much it explodes. It was really cool. Doing fun things like taking mercury thermostats apart and then hitting the mercury with a hammer and watching it go all over the garage. It's super dangerous, but it was fun, right? I mean, like, I was always just taking things apart, and building go-karts or hanging out on the acreage back, when I was living in California, way out there. It's just, I was always building or tinkering or doing something with my hands. And still today, that's how I am today. I still love to build stuff. I still love to just, an honest day's worth of work. I like to go out and really, if I'm not sore at the end of the day, I didn't work. That's how I like to feel.
And how about like your introduction to crypto? Like where was the first time that you ever heard of Bitcoin?
It wasn't Bitcoin that I first heard of. It was EOS.
Okay.
And I heard about it on, it was what was the guy's name? Tai Lopez. You know who that is?
Yeah.
So Tai Lopez had somebody on his show, and I heard about Bitcoin, and I was like, it was 2016. It was like right at the beginning of it. And I was like, yeah, it's like $2,000 or $3,000 or something. And I was like, I don't know what the hell that is.
Was it that high?
And gold, yeah, it was like it was right at the beginning of that before it went up to, I think it was 2017 when it started to really go crazy.
Yeah.
Because I got in right at the end of 2016, and I thought I was the smartest guy in the world, man. I bought a whole bunch of stuff that Tai Lopez said was good, and I didn't know. I didn't do my own research, right? I didn't know. I actually I got into this platform. I took my money up to Ether Delta, and I logged into it, and it had this weird method where like you had to put your money in this, like a beginning wallet, and then you had to transfer it to a trading wallet. But I didn't understand that very well. And I think it just got lost in translation, man. Like $200 just disappeared. I don't know where it went. It went to the ether, I guess. It was gone. That was like my first intro, because I was like, I'm gonna go get some kin, some KI.
So it all goes back to Tai Lopez. He's the one. You can pat him on the back one day, man. That was your guy that got you involved. Yeah. I mean, he's got a huge following. He did back then. I'm sure he does now. But EOS, I just checked, it's $1.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know what its function is, but I never bought any EOS. But man, so you've been in a long time. I mean, 2016 or 17, like when we were in that and we were living it, you didn't really think about how long we've been into it. But now that it's 2023, I'm almost mid 2023. This is a long, long time. Most people that I talk to, even now, that message me or we talk privately and stuff, they've only been in crypto a couple of years. And this is all new to them. They haven't experienced a real bull market. So you were saying that the good times are about to come. I agree with you, man. I think I think the best time to be in crypto, honestly, and we can talk about this in future videos as far as PulseChain and that whole ecosystem, but I really truly feel like that this is such an amazing time to be in crypto pre PulseChain. And I don't think people that are new realize that, because it may sound like pie in the sky to them, like, oh gosh, how am I going to time this? I'm brand new to this, and you're telling me that this is a fantastic time to be in crypto, even though it's 10, 12 years old. People are not going to believe that until PulseChain and Hex and some of the things that we like are old to them. Once they've been in it for years and experienced a full bull market, they'll realize how lucky they were, like we are looking back at 2017.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait. So what about you? Like, where was your start? Does everybody know where you started? I mean, you were back, like, you created Bitcoin, right? I mean, like, you were
I was right there. I had a partner.
You and Richard Hart were like mining 50 blocks, right, together.
Man, I've got a crazy story. Somebody interviewed me. It was Corey Costa just recently, and asked me about my start. And it's so bittersweet. I told him that too, because I was introduced to Bitcoin in 2010. So Bitcoin was just started in 2009. So even in 2010, when a friend of mine told me about it, I still think it was a fraction of a penny at that time. And I was working up in Washington, D.C. area. And a friend of mine, he was a big techie. He was in the medical field. And he told me, he said he called it kind of an internet money. And we talked about it being like this nerd internet money, fake stuff. And at the time I was looking at it like, this is so stupid. It's so dumb. Only nerds online are going to be looking at this. And I disregarded it. He told me, just put in $200, $500, and just forget about it. Buy Bitcoin, just a few $100. Don't touch it for years. That was, looking back, that was some of the greatest advice someone could have ever gave me. And it would have been, hundreds of millions of dollars, probably $1 billion if you'd have put $500 in Bitcoin at a fraction of a penny. But I regret not doing that, and not because I trusted the guy. He was a good friend, and I wish I would have listened, because there's really just a few times in your life, real friends that you trust will tell you, hey, take a look at this. You may want to invest in this. I can count on one hand how many times it's happened to me. So that's my bad. I should have listened to him. And then in 2012, I saw kind of Bitcoin blow up in circles and tech circles and stuff. So then I reminded myself, wow, this guy told me about this in 2010. It'd been nuts. So I got in pretty heavy in 12 and 13, but like it would have been in 2010, it would have been hard to ride a fraction of a penny or $1 Bitcoin all the way up to 69K or even 20K like it was in 2017. People hear about, me getting in early and think I'm this wealthy guy, and I'm not, because even if I'd have got in 2010, and just like I did in 12, I sold so much of my Bitcoin at, $200 and $1,000. I remember vividly buying a lot of Bitcoin when it was $4.99, thinking, oh, it's just under $500. I think it went up a couple of $100 in a couple of days, thinking, man, this is going to just be a meteor going up. But in my mind, I thought how expensive $4.99 was to buy Bitcoin. But then when it hits, $2,000, $3,000, you sell so much of it. So very few people have the cojones to buy it at whatever price and watch that thing go up, 100x, 1,000x, and hold on to it. So that was tough. I'm glad I got into it early, but man, I wish I would have listened and just held, 10% for forever.
Let me ask you a question then. Have you had that moment recently? Has somebody told you to buy something and you just did it rather than saying, oh, no, it'll be all right? I'm not going to do it.
I bought Zen.
I didn't know you could buy it. I thought you just had to mine it or crypt it.
Yeah, you kind of you attach your wallet and basically kind of claim it for free, basically. Mm-hmm. You just pay like a gas fee. Mm-hmm. But I bought it, got into it just because a friend that I really trusted told me about it. And I mean, I like Jack. I think he's a really nice guy. He's a super smart guy. I'm not completely sold on Zen. I'm obviously a Richard Hart maximalist myself. I think it's over time, it's proven to me that that's wise to, kind of put your eggs in one basket. A lot of people don't do that. And I wouldn't advise, just getting in one coin, but I like Bitcoin. I like Ethereum. I love Hex. I think PulseChain is going to be crazy, but that's enough for me to get into project like this. And there's a few projects on PulseChain that I really love, like Internet Money and Liquid Loans, and probably 5 or 6 others that I'm definitely going to invest in and that I sacrifice for. So I'm excited about that kind of stuff. But I just want to keep that little nucleus as close and as tight as I can, and kind of put all my duckies into people that I have a track record with and that I actually know are trustworthy. It's tough to go out there and see brand new coins that you don't know the founder or you don't know who he is. It's hard to trace back things, but I'm happy.
So I heard I don't know if it was I think it was through a book or something. I've heard somebody say that if you're really wealthy, it's a good idea to diversify. Now, if you're not so wealthy, it's better to put all your eggs in one basket. Because, I mean, if it goes great, I mean, like, and really research it, right? Like, so really research it. If you've researched PulseChain out to the hilt and you know exactly what it's going to do and how it's going to do it, put all your money in it. Put it all in there.
Mm-hmm.
Put it all in there. And
that's interesting.
If it goes great, then it's going to go really great for you. But what's your plan on that? So you said you rode the Bitcoin from the 499 and went to the 2000 and you sold it. And what was the timeline from the 499 to 2000? How many months or years was that?
Man, I wish I knew. I wasn't really paying attention to it, honestly, like I should have. I just knew that I was only buying Bitcoin at that time for years. I bought my first Bitcoin, I think it was 2012. And I just tried to buy as many as I could. But every time it would pump, I would sell too much. And that was one of the growing pains of, I should have just sold a couple of Bitcoin, took some profit, because the writing was on the wall. By the time I really figured it out in 12 and 13, I knew this was going to be a long-term thing. And the more people that got involved with it, the price is going to go crazy, because there's only 21 million ever created. It's a finite supply, and it was super attractive to me. So I really regret not buying as much as I possibly could when I really realized that. I should have just went all in on the next dump and then just rode it. And obviously, I encourage people to take profit along the way, because it's a really good morale builder and it keeps you in the game. It keeps things fresh. Nothing is worse than watching something, a good example is Hex. You watch it go at 50 cents. You don't take any profit because you think it's going to $1, and then it jumps down to 3 cents. That's a painful feeling. So I should have got as much as I could afford into Bitcoin in 2012 on any kind of dump I found, 10% dump, 5% dump. And then just taking profit, 2 or 3 Bitcoin at a time, or 5% of your stack every time is a big pump. I regret that. So I took profit.
With Pulse?
Pulse is different. I'm gonna try to stake my PulseX, obviously Hex on 2 chains. I'm gonna stake that and just
How long? An 8 months, a year? How long?
Man, my ladder is ridiculous. I've got ladders. This was maybe a mistake too, because of the gas fees. We can talk about that in a future video of how painful that is. But I've got chains. Ladders. The original Bitcoin Hex back in 2019 and 20. I made ladders like every 30 days. It was crazy. Sometimes every week I have a ladder coming out. Now I'm getting bit in a squirrel because the gas fees are ridiculous. I've got 10 stakes that are just kind of sitting there. They're only worth $200. And it costs more to end the stake than it does to just let it bleed. But
yeah,
I'm just going to sell the interest on my Hex and then throw it out 15 years. And I'm going to, same with Pulse. I may stake that and take a little bit of the interest and just throw it out as far as I can. As far as Pulse is a little different, because you stake it. It's not exactly like Hex, but it's similar. But that and PulseX with the bind burn, it's an amazing thing. It's never been done before, a fork of Ethereum. So I'm so excited with that. But like I said, I'm not going to sell big bags like I did Ethereum and Bitcoin, because you just get left out. I'm in this for a long haul, man. My lifetime. The Hex thing is, we got 15-year friendships with people. So I would hate to sell 80-90% of my Hex or my Pulse on big pumps and then regret seeing this 1000x. That would be rough. So I'm not going to use this as income. I'm just going to, scrape off here and there. How about you? Have you got a game plan for Pulse?
I do. So I think there's something interesting. What you just said there is, and I don't think you've even recognized it. You've been seasoned enough through these downs and ups that now your plan is a lot more sturdy. And I think a lot of these newer guys that came in during like the NFT craze and all that, These guys came in and they've just seen maybe even one pump and one dump. They've only seen that one time. And they've got this like, on this next one, I'm going to do blah, 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 right? But it's different for you. Like I could tell for you and for me, it's different. Like I'm looking to take my stuff and see how much I can turn it into, right? I want to take my, if you sacrifice for some of these other things that, maybe some of those coins produce more PLS, right? If they do that, just keep them. Let them produce more. Let them do what they do. Let them actually work the system the way it works. And that's where I'm at now as well. Like it sounds like you're on the same page, is where it's like you're going to let the actual platform do what it's intended to do, which is make you more money. Like I want to be sleeping and I want to be making money.
Yep.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
I'm the exact same way. And like you said, it takes a seasoned person, or for me, it really does. And you, I'm sure the same way, that you got to lose and lose and lose to figure out what works, and then what's best for you, what's best for your family. And the better cryptos kind of rise to the top. I didn't know Hex was going to be so great. I mean, people look at it at the recording this video and it's, 6 or 7 cents, but I know for a fact, I shouldn't be so confident, but I'm pretty confident that Hex is not going to be 6 cent 3, 5, 10 years from now, just because of the tokenomics and the people behind it, the community. They're really, really smart people in Hex. And I've noticed that over the last just couple of years that more and more people who are really educated, smart, honest people who want to see everybody succeed, not just pump their bags and get out and move to the next token. So that's a really good feather in Hex's cap, that it's got so many good people who I think are honest and are in this for the right reasons. And I would love to talk about Hex with you on another video we're going to do in the future. But you and I, it's just funny because we can go at this and time just goes. Right now, we're at almost 30 minutes, and it feels like it's been 10. But the first video I just wanted to put out here so people could be introduced to you. I have a lot of fondness for you, Pumpkin. I really like you as a person, and our backgrounds are so similar as far as just our family and the things that we value in life. So I hope this can be something that people like. I hope it resonates with people and they enjoy this kind of content, because I would love to have you back and do not really a series, but almost like a 1-2 combination of you and I talking a lot of different things, not just crypto, but just how to be a better person.
You got the list? Tell them the list. You got the list?
I don't know if I got the list. Let me see real quick.
I think I got the
That'd
list.
be good to do. So we talked about this for days. Actually, recently we got back in touch with each other and said, let's do this show. But we want to define a goal of a show. That's a good segue to talk about this, because I've known Pumpkin for so long that something like this would be a lot of fun for me personally, to have him on here and share our journey and our life and some of the things we want to do, not only for crypto, but for people that we consider friends. And I want people who come into this and just see videos that we do and know that you can reach out to us, you can talk to us, we're real people. And we wanted to do consistent content that focused on crypto, but also news and also an emphasis on helping others. You and I talked about what it would mean to be a service to people and to create videos like this and basically serve people. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that, because that's really important to me. When you mentioned that just a couple of days ago, we had planned on doing this months ago. And then just recently we reconnected and said, let's do this, but talk about crypto, do the news, but also that the word service was a big deal to me.
Yeah, for me as well. Service has been, it's just who I am. It's just what I am. It's inside of me. And I've wanted to create a channel for a long time where I can actually be myself. N2P, new to PulseChain, that's me. I created that, and I was trying to fill a void in an area where I just feel like it didn't exist. I wasn't a tech person and I wasn't serving in that way, but I was serving in the way that I could say, hey, like I like real estate a lot, and I like crypto a lot, and I like my family, and I like giving, and I like helping people. That's just who I am, and how I can bring all of these things together. And I think we could do that on this show, or on this segment, or on this application. I could do the helping. We can talk about, just normal stuff, everyday life, and how we can help other people. There's so many ways that we can connect to people around the world now, and in so many different ways. And it's important, I think, that every person should have a YouTube channel. I think every single person should, because, or even just some sort of streaming channel, because you don't know what your personality is going to connect to. Like, I don't know who's going to love looking at this huge, I mean, ginormous Portuguese fake nose. I mean, look how it's a giant nose. It's
the headphones are a good touch though.
Yeah, these are legit. And this, where's it? Oh, it's on the side. And it's just so if I need to like brush up on my makeup and stuff, on my shiny forehead,
shine off.
Whatever. Yeah, got the shine going. So I think that we can provide the crypto community with just a little something spicier, something a little bit better, just a little a different take on it. And I think that is in itself is a service to the community. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to go over. There's so much stuff to unpack. We've got a list, and I'm sure it's going to grow on a daily basis what we can talk about. And I just look forward to just getting to know everybody. Getting to know the community in a different way. In a way that, like, not, what do you think of this chart? Like, everybody asks you that question about that chart. I don't want to know about the chart. I want to know why you even picked up a chart in the first place. When was the first time you looked at a chart? When you looked at it, did you think it was upside down like I do? Like, is it sideways? I don't even know. Is it going side? Yeah, it's freaking sideways. Look at it. I'm bored, man. I want to go watch something else. But so, like, we're going to serve this community, and we're going to do it in our way where I feel like we can bring a lot to it. You got that guy, and then you got this guy with the nose. So
it's a great combination, though, because you and I bounce off each other really well, and it's something that you just can't make up, and you don't have it with everybody. So I really enjoy that, and I hope people recognize that. And like you said, to serve people and to look at people and bring them together in a laid back, fun, energetic series, whatever we're going to call this, is brand new to us as well. This is the very first one, but I want people to come here. I want to do live streams in the future. I want to do short form content like we were talking about. You and I can talk for hours on this, and it goes by fast. But if we have videos to begin with that are 10, 15, 20 minutes, under 30 minutes, we make 10, 20, or 30 of these, and we build up a community. We can do live streams. We can get people involved. We can have guests on here. We can have 5 or 10 people. And if we all focus on having a great time, educating each other in crypto and in life, and helping each other and being servants to each other, that's going to make this community really valuable. It's going to bring friends together. And I think it's going to create a lot of value online, that you can go and meet people just like that, the old Telegram days. I want to recreate that with things that we can control. Get rid of the bots, get rid of the scammers, surround this channel with, 100 people who really care about each other, and we can really bounce off of each other. You do something good, you do something good, and we can learn from each other and really help each other. A perfect example is SJ. She's working on a bus today. She's got a live feed. I just said hello to her an hour or so ago. Someone's helping her paint her bus. Someone helped her fix her bus, electric and plumbing and stuff. That's a small example of how real world we can come together and help each other. And that's really, really important to me. It's fine looking at a technical analysis chart and talking about crypto and getting in the weeds, but I would like to do that and to also talk about life and how we can help each other and be beneficial to one another. So that's what we're going to do here. And I want people to come here and make comments and get in the live stream and connect and exchange information and help each other through crypto, especially, but also life. If we can be successful together and keep this community tight, where we can talk to each other and actually have real friends, that would be a big win for me.
Agreed. And we could also do some giveaways, I know you've got a whole bunch of Never cards you want to give away.
I do.
There's going to be a very small amount of people who are going to know that scam that we got caught into, and they're going to be like, oh, man. Oh,
it was brutal. Man, we can have a whole 15, 20-minute show just on scams. And that was a painful time. But I'm going to end this here. We're looking at 35 minutes, and we're going to do another one. Right away, let's just do another one, get it out there. I want to make a bunch of content, just build this up. That's where I went wrong. One of my biggest regrets is not doing more content. I am life just gets a hold of me and family and friends, and I go off, and I really regret not making more content. I've been in crypto forever, had a YouTube channel for, I don't know, 8 years, 16 or 17, and I don't make enough content. So hopefully you can be a catalyst and help me make more content, fun things, and just get people involved in something different. You know, you and I talk about this a lot. You go to YouTube, even in the Hex and PulseChain community, crypto community, you hear a lot of the same stuff. I want to be somewhere that's different. You and I can hopefully bring a bunch of people together that share that get some laughs, share some things with some friends, and build a community, and just have a little bit of a different atmosphere that's set apart from other channels. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Let's do a bus fundraiser. Does she need more stuff fixed on the bus? I mean,
that's a great idea.
I want to see this bus. Like,
it's
send
sweet,
me some
man.
pictures of this thing.
I'll do it. Our next stream, we should maybe
I don't even know who SJ is. Is that
I'll actually, next time we jump on here, I will link to her Twitter and her YouTube, so we can shout out to her and give her some exposure. A lot of people in the Hex PulseChain community know her. I've actually hired her before to do some work for me, so I know her in a personal way. I've met her in person at Vegas. She's one of the most charming people in all of crypto, not just Hex community, but anyway, I appreciate you, man, coming on here. We're almost 40 minutes. I think people can get a little bit of your background and our background as well. But
yeah,
we're gonna do it again. But man, I appreciate you. Thanks a bunch. And I will. I don't know. Any last words for you?
Tip your waitress. Tip her good. I mean, like, so good. Like, tip them like you're a millionaire, right? You start tipping like a millionaire, hey, you're gonna become one.
So, for Pumpkin and Matty Crypto, I will catch y'all on the B side.
Where'd he go?